Hello, this is Reiki Master Angelia with Part 8 of Works of Heart's Reiki 2 and Natural Complementary Healing Training Program. Last night we were talking about magnetic healing and what it was. So we're going to move on to state of the art and science. This is one of the most frequently used of all the energy medicine techniques. And like I said, my mom had some heel problems and she had magnets that she would stick on her heels. Magnets are said to relieve muscle spasms and painful conditions such as arthritis and lower backache. Gotta turn my page here. Headaches, toothaches, and strains and joint pain. Despite their popularity, no convincing evidence has yet been published showing that magnets have any effect on the body. Orthopedists acknowledge, however, that high-speed pulses of electromagnetic fields hasten the healing of bone fractures by attracting calcium to the area to promote new bone growth. Sound healing. What it is. Sound healing is based on the principle of sympathetic resonance, meaning that one vibration in an area can cause other things in the immediate environment to vibrate without being physically touched. If you've ever seen, the opera singers hit the high notes and they shatter the glass, that's what that's about. The vibration does that. She doesn't have to actually, touch it, but the vibration can cause that. Practitioners of sound healing use tuning forks, and I've actually had this done on me, electronically produced music, drumming and chanting to affect body functions and alter mood. And I know some people do a lot of drumming. I was invited to do that with them, but I've got a thumb that's been put back together, and so my drumming skills are not what they used to be. They believe that specific sound frequencies or vibrations can increase the activity of cells, improving overall health. Scientists have found the rhythmic drum beats encourage brain waves to shift to a new vibration by mimicking the frequency pattern associated with dreaming or deep states of meditation. State of the art and science. No large studies have been done evaluating sound therapy, but several small ones show positive results. One of the most promising and well-tested methods relies on audio tapes that use specifically engineered frequencies to synchronize the right and left hemispheres of the brain. And actually, there's a couple of things on YouTube like that. I kind of looked at a couple of them recently. I'm not saying it really helped anything, but it was kind of cool and relaxing to just listen and watch. Improving concentration, speeding healing after surgery, and combating depression. A study published in the Physiology and Behavior showed that this technology can enhance mood and performance. So, if you're interested in that, go on YouTube and mood elevation or, help with depression. And they have these little videos and you can check them out. And, they're, like I said, nice to just chill out with for, a few minutes or, some of them are live streams, so they might go on forever. Excuse me here. Got a little, what feels like maybe a cat hair. While a separate report in Anesthesia concluded that surgery patients who listened to these tapes needed less anesthesia. And anytime I've been in surgery, the doctors had music playing, so maybe that's got something to do with it. All right, research on vibrational healing. This was compiled by my Reiki master, Patrice Joy Masterson. Healing with vibration has been practiced by ancient civilizations throughout time. Vibrational healing therapy may be rapidly becoming a science of the future in the medical field. This is a return to the wisdom of natural laws from indigenous cultures who use the vibration of color, breath, sound, and stones as means to bring inner balance. Monks were masters at visualization and chanted hours as they prayed and did daily chores. When I had my son Roddy, I actually listened to a Gregorian monk chant tape, and it actually helped the labor go much easier and faster. They discovered that they had greater health in mind, body, and spirit with these practices. Healing is accomplished by raising the vibration of a cell, organ, gland, and thought pattern. Edgar Cayce, a world-renowned medical clairvoyant, said, "Sound is the medicine of the future." Mind is the initiator. Thoughts create a thought form, which is a composite of vibration. Mental imagery evokes thoughts of peace, joy, and love to create an extremely high field of energy, attracting celestial vibrations and desired outcomes. Mind over matter. It is critically important to visualize what you do want instead of what you don't want. The mind acts as a vibrational force field, drawing to it what is programmed within. So if you're thinking a lot of good positive thoughts, then a lot of good positive stuff's going to happen. If you're thinking a lot of bad negative thoughts, then bad negative stuff is going to continue. Like it says, a body at rest stays at rest, but a body movement stays in movement. Same thing with your thoughts. If you're thinking positive, you're going to continue to think positive. If you're thinking negative, you're going to continue to think negative. You need to pull yourself up out of that. If you have depression, you might need medication. You might need therapy. I swear by therapy. Everybody should go to therapy, just to get yourself together. But anyway, keep thinking positive. Don't let yourself get in the negative trap. Because when you do, your life is just going to be full of that. And I know people, I have some people in my own family that, that's the train they're on. They're riding that negativity train, and they're going to be riding it till the day they're gone because they don't think anything good is ever going to happen. They don't have any positive outlooks on anything. And that's a shame, really, because they're never going to be happy with their life. The visualization must be vivid and specific to get effective manifestation. A purposeful intention is to be emphasized with emotional desire. Sound waves bridge different dimensional zones. Humanity as a whole operates on the third dimension. Vibrations are coming to us now from the fifth to the ninth dimensions. At the beginning, vibrations filter down through the different dimensions, universes, and realities of being. It is a composite of all that has ever been or ever will be. And in that, excuse me here, I got a little stuff going on my eye here. Allergies. And that's where God lives. God lives in every dimension. God lives in the past, the present, and the now. He can see everything. That's why we can't see it. And, we live pretty much in this linear dimension. Yeah. Woo! So that's all we can see. But he can see everything at once. And we can't understand that because our brains are linear. We're on a linear path. But sometimes we can stop ourselves on the path we're on. And, as they say, the road forks. And you can take a different fork. You can take a different path and make different things happen for yourself. Pythagoras related the human body to a monochord. He thought heaven and earth were connected by one string and felt as we learn the tones. We learn the secrets of the universe. An individual acts as a magnetic receiving station to draw in higher or lower energies depending on the output of the person. And that's something they teach you in the secret, and other things like that, is that what you put out, you attract. Law of attraction. What you put out, you attract. So if you're putting out a bunch of negativity and stuff, that's what you're going to attract. But if you put out positive, I'm going to get up and today's going to be awesome. Have a great day. It's going to be awesome. I'm going to spend the day, with God, and we're going to do wonderful things for the world. Then that's how your day is going to go. So it's up to you every day. If your day is going to go, or if your day is going to go, wah, it's up to you. Hans Kaiser, a German scientist in the 1920s, used Pythagoras' lambda theory, of tone and numbers in geometry to create a bridge between matter and soul. And that's his opinion on that. Throughout time, man's relation as a being of light, and we are, if you believe we have a soul in us, and I believe we do, the cosmos and to nature has been explored. Scientist Robert Beck studied the effect of sound on the pineal gland, which is, back in here, your third eye gland, which is said to be our antenna to reception of spiritual communication from higher realms of light. Research suggests that the pineal is an organic device which is tuned towards magnetic north to give both humans and animals their sense of direction. And that's more advanced in some people than others. Like when we're out driving around and, my fiance says, I'm lost. I'll say, go this way. And eventually we'll end up, in the right place. So my pineal gland works pretty good. And sometimes when there's something funny going on or somebody whose intentions might not be the best, I'll feel a little tingle, and I'll thank God because I feel like God is warning me. He's letting me feel that, in my third eye that something's not quite right, my youngest son actually has a cyst on his pineal gland that they've looked at. And, hopefully, nothing ever becomes more of that. Scientist Frank Barr's work indicates the pineal is a phototransducer, phase timing information processing interface molecule. Yeah, say that 3 times fast. I can't say it once. But anyway, it means that it deals on, what you're taking in. It deals on light. And it deals on, how things are going. And it interfaces with the information that you're processing on a spiritual level. And that's why they call it your third eye, that you can see things with your third eye, because they feel like it's a message from spirit, and I believe the Holy Spirit does talk to us if we're, in Jesus. And it's letting you know something is, good or something is not so good, but it's giving you a signal. Hey, pay attention. This is a substance that has the ability of absorbing and converting light energy to sound and vice versa. Barr believes that melanin and its brain counterpart, neuromelanin, may be the key link between mind and brain. Through stimulation of the pineal gland, neuromelanin is produced. Neuromelanin, a light-sensitive compound, triggers the release of a substance which contains phosphorus, a light-producing chemical. And, I don't know if you've heard any of the old stories about, old Native American people or old people who could produce their own light. That's never been proven. You can see videos of supposedly this happening. But, supposedly there are people who could actually produce their own light. By stimulating the pineal gland through vocal harmonics, it may be possible that actual fields of light around the body are enhanced and the auric field becomes more luminescent. He hypothesized that through this brilliant aura glow, he was able to produce light in a room. There is a reference to this phenomenon in texts of the ancient mystery schools. Dayani Yawahu, a Native American medicine woman, writes about ceremonies in which initiation were held in total darkness because they had to be able to produce their own light. She felt this was done through the creation of harmonics in chanting and singing. Spiritual scientist J.J. Hurtak writes about the phenomenon of creating light through the pineal. He states, "The light which activates the pineal gland is not the conventional light of the sun. The brain produces its own light field on a molecular level through the neurocircuitry. The frequency of light is measured in trillions of cycles per second and sound at 10,000 cycles per second. One way to view their relationship is to see light as merely speeded up sound, or conversely, sound as slowed down light. And now we know there are creatures in the deep ocean that produce their own bioluminescence. So in theory, it could be possible. Brug Joy, MD, has been a pioneer in vibrational healing since his residency at Mayo Clinic in 1966. So see, this stuff has been studied, and there are people, who have come from prestigious places like at the Mayo Clinic where they've studied this stuff. So it's not just, like some people say. He maps the body's energy fields and expands the vision of the unrealized potential of the mind's connection to the radiating body energy with a spiral pattern meditation. He offers further insights into the awakening process, psi phenomenon, the holographic aspects of consciousness, my tongue went working the day, quickening and shielding, dream analysis, visualization, and transformational psychology. Dr. Alfred Tomatis, the leading genius in therapeutic music and sound research, believed that this light was created not only through the pineal, or the third eye, but also through the heart, which is also extremely rich in melanin. By enhancing light, we are adding energy to the fields around our bodies, creating or restoring health and balance to areas of disease and pain. He helped dyslexia, autism, stutters, and depression, among many other ailments. Dr. Tomatis believes one of the basic functions of the ear is to provide a charging through sound to the center of the brain. And of course, that's how you hear. It goes in here, goes to the brain. The Tomatis method, used in over 250 centers across Europe and North America, concentrates on the numerous psychological and social factors that relate to listening skills, the family environment, and emotional background. Swiss medical doctor Dr. Hans Jenny became interested in the physical effects of sound vibration. He developed a tonoscope for observing this and measured matter in motion forming vibrations. He has taken superb photographs of sound shapes in water, and I'm sure you've probably seen some of those. If you haven't, you can Google them. There's pictures of, ripples and, esophageal effects on, water droplets, so it's kind of neat to look at. Dr. Jenny found that valves produce circular patterns in powder. He determined that vibration alters the structure of other matter, changing the vibrations and the shape of the matter it acts upon. Healing is accomplished by raising the vibration of a chakra, organ, gland, thought pattern, and cell. From a physiological viewpoint, vocal harmonics create changes in heartbeat, respiration, and brain waves. Barbara Hio recorded the shape of sounds geometrically. She placed mirrors under speakers and projected a laser beam from the mirror onto a screen. Fine grains of sand or iron filings were spread on a sheet of glass or metal and made the sheet vibrate by stroking it with a bow of a violin. I'm sure you've all seen those, pictures. If you haven't, you can Google that and check that out too. The sand instantly arranged itself into beautiful patterns like a mandala. When stroked in a different place, a different shape was formed. Masaru Emoto, a visionary Japanese researcher, published an important book, The Message from Water, from the findings of his worldwide research. It provides factual evidence that human vibration from our energy, thoughts, words, ideas, and music affects not only the molecular structure of water, but affects the whole environment. Again, what you put in, you get out. Helga Rich, a vocal teacher and yoga instructor, helped patients with aphasia, muscular disorders, stroke, Down syndrome by toning vowel sounds into their third eye. She indicates people with neurological disorders may be able to restore brain balance. And I've actually tried this with a doctor once, where you hit the thing and then you put it, that close. You can actually feel that, going into you. So, there's something there. I don't think it's been studied enough, but there's something going on there. Susan Gallagher Borg, singer, body worker, believes it is possible to resonate different portions of the brain with sound to create new neural synaptic connections to connect brain cells. This affects learning and memory in signs of prolonged stress. Judith Hitt, RN, helps stroke patients and other neurological disorders using vocal harmonies and visual imagery. Magnetotherapy, the laying on of hands, by Reverend Hannah Kroger, teaches the understanding of the electromagnetic poles and cellular function, positive negative ions, and the proper placement of the hands to harmonize the nervous system and organs. Steve Halpern's Soundscapes is an excellent choice to accomplish this effect. These meditative sounds attune the listener to nature. Energy in humans is related to energy in nature. Other meditative selections include Yuzi, Music for Zen Meditations, Goethe, a German 18th century scientist, describes architecture as frozen music, using the ratio to form an octave. A portion known as the golden section is a geometric ratio which relates to the human body proportion of major sixth and minor sixth. Like if you, in architecture, they talk about that, and like your human body, you're like a triangle with then and then, more. So, we are in a symmetry. These relations, oh my gosh, I can't talk today. Excuse me, are also found in the plant and animal kingdoms. Listening to the sounds of dolphins, whales, and wolves brings inner harmony as these ratios balance. And I actually have a CD that has, wolves and crickets. And then actually there's a song on my library that has whale songs. So I do like those, and I do find those very soothing. Sound is vibration, and vibration is music in a three-dimensional form. Influence on health. Classical music has been shown in research to have great impact on mind, body, and spiritual health. So, if you're having problems with anxiety, bless me, check it, no fever. I do that every time I sneeze now. Ain't that a shame? It's the world we live in. But if you're putting a lot of negative music into yourself, putting a lot of, bad mouthing, gangster rap stuff. No offense, gangster rappers. But some of your stuff is negative. And some of the country music stuff is negative. So if you're filling yourself with a lot of negative stuff, that's how you're going to feel. You're going to feel pretty negative. Like the world is not such a great place. So if you're having that and you're listening to that, you might want to switch off. Listen to some more positive stuff, some more classical stuff, some more jazzy stuff, some more, contemporary Christian or gospel music. Fill yourself with some better stuff. If you're finding you're having anxiety and depression all the time, look at what you're putting into yourself. Look into what you're watching. Look into what you're listening, and decide if that is good stuff to be putting in you. If you're diabetic, you're not going to eat a pound of sugar unless you, want to die that day. If you have heart disease, you're not going to sit there and eat a, pint of lard, So think about that. If you have anxiety and depression, you don't want to fill yourself with things that are full of anxiety and depression. That's just common sense, folks. Pachelbel's Canon in D major and Mozart's Piano Concerto No. 21 in C major tend to facilitate a creative perspective on problem solving. Bach soothes indigestion. Mozart relieves rheumatic pain and stimulates brain function. Schubert puts insomniacs to sleep, and Handel eases emotional problems. So if you're having some emotional problems, check out Handel's Messiah. Listen to that for a little while, or some of his other stuff. I just happen to like Messiah. But, and this stuff has been studied. People get grants for this stuff. Sometimes it's kind of funny what people can get grants for when you can't get a grant for something, really important, but you can get a grant to study, how classical music affects people's mindsets. Harp music, well known for its calming effect, is used at the University of Massachusetts Medical Center to help sick people reduce stress and stop taking habit-forming drugs. And I have a harp CD that I listen to too. Flute music and wind instruments open the lungs. The violin and other stringed instruments have been used to help the heart. The Four Seasons, Opus 10 Flute Concerto, and Bach's Goldberg Variations are appropriate. The Largo movement of Vivaldi and Bach have rhythms similar to the human heartbeat. Its restful rhythm results in deeper relaxation as people's pulse rate and biological rhythms synchronize with the music beat. John Ballou relates healing sound to the elements and to nature. Don Campbell, Kay Garden, Peter Michael Hamill, Dr. McClellan, Jonathan Goldman have all published insightful systems for healing with sound. Sherry Edwards, founder of Sound Health, recovers missing sounds in the body to restore balance and heal diseases. Ted Andrews gives a summary of musical guidelines for vocal remedies, combined with yoga asanas, aromas, and affirmations for the muscular, skeletal, respiratory, digestive, reproduction, nervous systems, and for all major glands, organs, and chakras. He states every vowel in a person's name has a different energy vibration and reveals the person's specific life lessons. Name analysis gives great insights into why certain relationships are present and what is the lesson so forward progress can be attained. Sound and imagery can be a vehicle to recreate past experience through regression, to release stored emotional states which hold a lower frequency. Like I said, anything negative has a lower frequency. Positive has a higher frequency. Remnants of repeated struggles and trauma are removed from a person's core thought patterns and auric field. And that's what we want when we get all that garbage taken out. Because when you take your garbage out, you feel better. Think of your garbage can. You say you keep your garbage in there for a few weeks in the summer when it's over 80 degrees. What's going to happen in that garbage can? What are you going to find when you open that lid? Yeah, it's going to be filled with maggots. It's going to stink. It's going to be horrible. So it's the same thing with your inner garbage. You got to take your inner garbage out too. Or that's going to sit in you and fester in you, and it's not going to make it stink, or you're not going to have maggots crawling over you. But it's going to be inside festering. It's going to affect your spiritual self. It's going to affect your mental health. It's going to affect your emotional health. And it's going to affect your physical health because you're not going to take care of yourself. So, taking out your garbage is important. With the restructuring of new thoughts, the individual can begin to attract a happy, successful life. Neuro-linguistic program, NLP, and I studied that for a little while. I didn't think it was for me. Some people do it and like it and swear by it. You can look into it if you want. recreates a positive happening at the alpha brainwave level to replace the original disruptive one. Hypnotherapy is used to filter certain thoughts such as fear, anger, and guilt, which create emotional responses having a slower, dense field of energetics. And like I said, the negative stuff is always heavier and denser and slower. It holds you down. And the positive stuff, frees you up, So that's all for today. I hope you got something out of it. I hope it was educational and informational. I'll leave the link if you want to, donate to help support this, healing outreach. And that's all for now. Until next time.